You're listening to Thinking Out Loud, where two buddies nip it right in, ranting over topics about humans and their humanities and sometimes their lack thereof. Topics as diverse and colorful as their race and humor that tickle their curious, peculiar bones. And would yours too if you think along. One's a budding psychologist, and another's a psychological case. Hop in the whirlpool of worldly ventures. You're invited. Welcome to the first ever episode of Thinking Out Loud. And for today's topic, we will be talking about coronavirus and whatever we know, understand, and have experienced during this global pandemic.
So how has your life been after Corona since you've been there?
It's been good. Personally, I have been, or I would describe myself as not a very social person. So this has been quite a lot of fun for me, staying at home and being able to do all the different kind of activities. I started playing a lot of games that I would never thought of playing. Then I also indulged a little bit into streaming on Twitch, which did not work very well because my system was not capable of handling multitasking. So, yeah, that is how I have been engaging. What about you?
Okay, so well, lockdown or no lockdown, my life is always within two closed doors. Or there was just one social act I had going out to this book cafe, but now that's also shut.
Mm-hmm.
And baki to sab online freelancing and stuff. And I've taken this opportunity now to like expand a few sources of entertaining myself. Funny thing is now that I'm more at home, I'm spending more time in the garden in my home. Otherwise, I would not even come out to see these trees and these, the whole afternoon time. It is so
Mm-hmm.
peaceful over here. But I'd either fall asleep or I'll be out or I'll be on the computer. But now I'm getting more time to do that. Apart from that, it's been very peaceful in this neighborhood though.
Mm-hmm.
Because from far away you can't hear even these traffic sounds, nothing. So it is peaceful. It rained hailstones in Nagpur.
Uh,
I remember hailstones raining maybe before 2004.
okay.
After that, I don't think it rained that way ever again. And these hailstones were so big, they actually killed a few monkeys in the
Oh my
forest.
God.
I know. No one said watch out to them, no? Heads up. No one told them that.
A funny thing that you mentioned about the nature. Where I'm staying, this is like how do you say? It's a colony. So colony में जहाँ मैं
Okay.
रह रहा हूँ, it's a 3 BHK thing. And when I was going out regularly or for my institution or when I was actively like engaging myself with the other things, मैंने कभी अपने balcony में जो plants थे उस पे ज़्यादा ध्यान नहीं दिया था. But now,
Right.
now I water them every day after waking up. मैं देखता हूँ धूल लगा है कि नहीं लगा है, साफ होता है कि नहीं है. Like I clean them, I take care of it every day. That is how it has become. It's very interesting how it is affected. Like in terms of that, like how we are giving time not just to ourselves, but to the closest thing that was clearly visible in front of us. But कभी हमने
Not noticed.
exactly.
Right? So these minute shifts have happened.
Hmm.
Like man is connecting more to the nature right around him and then going far away. Like when you don't have far away to go through your feet, then you go through your mind, I guess, or through your internet search. So um, I've always been active online,
Hmm.
searching, web searching, and researching, but now more into learning. Like I had downloaded a lot of things earlier, but I rarely ever started learning them. Now I'm even taking the time to learn online. Like Netflix released these few documentaries, for free. So I'm
Okay.
becoming, yeah, they did. They released 10 documentaries for free now. And so what I did was, when I found out कि ये कुछ internet companies, they are making some stuff here and there for free, I did one whole day research, and I came to know there are many things, right? The very first time I came across this was Pornhub making its premium membership free for 2 months.
Funny thing. Well, okay, I'll say it. I did try to make an account on Pornhub, but I was unsuccessful.
Exactly, me too. Right? They just wanted more traffic on them. Anyways, that the good part is that you couldn't make, because then I
Yes.
started searching for other things that could have been free, and many things have become free, like Skillshare, and there's this one video editing site called Affinity. They made their software free for some time, and then there are many educational ventures who are there was this. I think edX has always been free, but then they are giving one of these courses called Science of Happiness. Have you heard of that?
नाम तो सुना है बट मैंने कभी उतना ध्यान से उसके ऊपर इतना I never looked it up. I just know the name, Science of Happiness.
You know Martin Seligman, right? A very
Martin
celebrated
Seligman,
name
of
in positive
course, the
psychology.
father of positive psychology.
Father of it. Was it not Csikszentmihalyi or I think Maslow or Rogers? They were humanistic, right?
They were humanistic perspective वाले. Seligman, positive psychology. Seligman has always been associated with positive. Like he always क्या? He is the founder of positive psychology, father of positive psychology. वही तो है. So yeah. So Seligman, you
One
were
trend
saying
I've
about.
seen on Instagram right now, one trend I've seen on Instagram is a lot of mental health awareness being spread out and webinars on that. Webinars and conferencing has become more staple than ever. And like people are being informed, being educated about how mental health in this time is so important to take care of. And there are some companies which even basically I don't know what to say, productize mental health courses for a better living. You must have heard of Mind Valley and Commune.
Commune सुना है, Mind Rally सुना है.
Am I
But
right? So
yeah,
these guys, there are more guys like independent ones also.
then this is
Right, I
how.
saw one this channel called Youth for Mental Health, and but they conduct a lot of these mental health and these discussions and performances by artists.
Oh, Youth for Mental Health. I have been to
Remember that?
their seminars. Yes, I have their
Yes.
badge. A pin badge. है. I just remembered now. Yes, it was I think a year ago. A year means like long back probably. उनका
And
badge.
now more than ever, this issue will be relevant, and perhaps this window of opportunity will give these people a chance to sort of psychoeducate our society, particularly India society, right? क्योंकि इधर इतना knowledge नहीं है, अभी भी stigma बहुत है.
बहुत है.
Mental health, yeah. But the more people start feeling a bit, what do you say, edged, like on the verge of it, and the more they start feeling, then the more normalized it will become to accept that there is this phenomena called psychology, and it gets affected, by outside things and even your bodily things. And so it is important to take note of that and take help from someone, speak out to them, get hard through your artwork, maybe through journaling. It will be interesting to see how many new shifts happened in people's lives, what they came out learning, what ideas, what new perspectives they got into their life, into the routine they had. Maybe the change that they made in the routine could be positive, or maybe just not up any more, not up any less than what they usually were. But the changes that will happen in people's life, their perspective, and the things they learned. This is what will be interesting. Like you'll see a lot more blogs coming out saying what I learned during the lockdown, 10 things I learned, all of these things, right? Reddit pe, Quora pe, you'll see a lot of lists, and
In
then
fact,
they'll
when
compile it and put it on thought catalog or something.
yes, yes, yes. my own personal experience when lockdown was announced in India, हमारे देश में तो I was playing game and I did not know about lockdown. My mom calls me, go and buy all the groceries. Lockdown has been announced. There won't be shops open and all. So I went down. I went to the shop. I said, okay, my regular shop was all like crowded because of the demand of the people. I thought, okay, I won't be able to get anything from this shop. I'll go to some other shop. And the some other shop में जब मैं गया तो I thought, okay, चावल तो यहाँ से लेंगे नहीं. It would be very costly. I got atta, and I did not till that moment I did not know how to make roti or any chapati like atta based food. I got the atta for me. Exactly. Now my mom is proud.
I'll send you a virtual Michelin star. You just put it up.
Yeah. So I was just joking, like whenever I was talking to any of my friends that everyone is going to come out becoming a quarantine master chef. People will come out as a
when this lockdown happened,
Mhm.
was it like very suddenly announced and you had only one day to decide?
Suddenly I did not know. मैं यहाँ पे I don't have TV or news. Like तो मुझे कुछ पता नहीं था. इतना पता था कि कोरोना चल रहा है and things will get a little bit serious. And उस दिन का पता था when Modi was going to give a speech. I just knew that, but I did not care much.
It's been 2 months now.
It's been 2 months. March 24 या 25th का announced था.
How long is it gonna be lockdown over there?
4th में से 2 weeks का और I think 2 weeks extension बोला है. So there's going to be another 2 weeks extension. But it's all the same.
Before lockdown, there was some real tensions going on in the place that you're in, right? Delhi वगैरह में.
Oh,
and how did it subside?
Yes. वो तो बहुत था. Like that actually make me think a lot about the human nature. Like human nature as in individually also because of the personal changes that I was experiencing and the kind of views that I was getting to hear from others or society ka behavior towards certain things, how the society was functioning at this particular moment. ये बड़ा बहुत सारे questions दिमाग में आए थे. मतलब as you said, यहाँ पे शुरू में एक तो discrimination तो था ही towards the northeast people. जो बहुत पहले से जो चल रहा है, but it became a little bit more intensive now because of the corona lockdown. I think some
not the lockdown actually, the announcement. Because lockdown का तो कोई नहीं आ सकता, right?
The announcement of corona, like नहीं, the announcement of lockdown के बाद तो activity नहीं, the northeast पे attack वाला तो was not related to the lockdown, but it was when the cases of corona was increasing. Yes, when the cases of corona in India was increasing, the blame was on the northeastern students and the northeastern people saying that it is because of you people, because of our similarities, facial similarities and physical similarities with the Chinese counterpart. तो उधर थोड़ा डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, थोड़ा नहीं काफी डिस्क्रिमिनेशन हुआ था. तो एक तो वो है. दूसरा I think it was in Gujarat. One of the lady doctors, she was verbally abused and attacked by her neighbors, saying that since you work in a hospital where corona patients are there,
right,
you are going to be the reason for bringing in corona in our building. And Gujarat
and
wala,
this is like a misunderstanding about how it spreads, right?
It is definitely a misunderstanding, lack of knowledge, and ignorance also.
And they're like hidden aggression, which just got a place to vent.
The fear of this corona ने जो aggression निकाला है लोगों का, a lot.
Right, somewhat like you've seen this pattern so many times before, also in history, where people basically because they are not peaceful inside. They're not truly peaceful and psychologically sane. They do find an outlet. War becomes an outlet. Discrimination becomes an outlet. The way Germans against Jews became an outlet. Like pin all your life problems on one person and one event. As if इस कोरोना के पहले तुम्हारे लाइफ में प्रॉब्लम नहीं थे और उसका प्रॉब्लम कोई डॉक्टर थी तुम्हारे बिल्डिंग में. They could use another mechanism like sublimation, which is better because it's just taking your energy in some other direction and maybe channeling it for something better. They're not doing that.
Sublimation, correct. That will be
So
more appropriate.
Maybe show this anger towards like first of all, don't act out of anger, don't write and speak also out of anger. But if it is if it is justified, you think it is justified, then let's talk about government policies and what they could have done. Maybe why did this even spread, right? Abhi, I see so many WhatsApp messages, and not me, like people around me get these WhatsApp messages. They happen to be part of some really weird WhatsApp groups, which is just highlighting how much misinformation will spread. And these right-wing news channels particularly, they're talking so much about how China created this virus in a laboratory and this is a attempt to attack, which is something US has also been doing.
Those
you must have seen this on ABP. You must have seen this on ABP News and any right-wing news channels.
अरे न्यूज़ चैनल तो मैंने देखना ही छोड़ दिया उसकी वजह से. So all those agendas and propagandas these news channels are doing.
It is still important to know what they're saying because there's a very large population who watches that and even gets influenced by that.
Yeah, that is
so जिन लोगों को ये सब देखना नहीं, जिन लोगों को ये सब देखना नहीं, उनको भी देखना पड़ेगा, जानना पड़ेगा कि क्या पता अपना पड़ोसी क्या सोच रहा होगा.
यार उस मामले में तो personally I do look up some things when it becomes very necessary. देखता हूँ but channel as per नहीं देखता. I try to, for example, अगर कोई एक न्यूज़ है, अगर कोई एक टॉपिक ट्रेंडिंग है, तो what all coverages have been done कि सोर्स ए का क्या बोला है, सोर्स बी ने क्या बोला है, सोर्स सी ने क्या बोला है, सोर्स ए बी सी में क्या सिमिलैरिटीज है, क्या डिफरेंसेस है. If all the three sources are saying similar things, then yes, there is some base to it. Any kind of news that has been said or told, or any information that has been shared out through these sources, then there is some base to it. That is how I have been trying to know more about or gather information regarding such things. I was going to come back to how human beings were thinking at this particular moment. Like in good ways, kaise bolenge? A lot of my friends, they actually who could not sit down for meditation, they started meditating now, and they were able to give a lot more time to themselves. And they say now, अगर ये लॉकडाउन नहीं होता तो फिर I would have just continued with my regular life. They were saying कि if this lockdown would not have happened, then मैं ऐसे ही निकल जाता. मतलब मेरे साथ क्या अंदर मेरे क्या चल रहा है मुझे पता नहीं चलता. But now because of this all situation, I indulged in meditation, and they said it keeps me very, very calm and mindful. Yes, mindful हो गए वो. माइंडफुल कैसे हो गए हैं? आजू बाजू की चीजें अभी उनको नजर आती है कि कौन कब कैसा बोल रहा है और कैसे बदल रहा है. They are able to recognize now. These are some of the things that some human beings that I know of have felt or have experienced, or they felt these things after they gave some time to themselves. तो एक तो ये हुआ, और दूसरा, the other side of it is people who are not able to go out and who love to go out, they are frustrated. Like उनको अपना वो एनर्जी चैनलाइज करने को पता ही नहीं चल रहा है. They are confused because the availability of those many resources that they had when they went out, अब वो है ही नहीं. अब घर पे बैठ के क्या करेंगे? घर के सामने क्या है? Netflix है. There is only the screen that is going to be interacting with you now. So for them, it has become very difficult. So how they are struggling.
Like I'm imagining,
Mm-hmm.
you were saying struggling, and then I'll make my point here.
Yeah, sure. Share. मेरा खत्म हो गया.
So what I was considering here was, imagine if this kind of pandemics have happened before. If you remember, swine flu had also happened. And that too was airborne. It was also like this corona, it was airborne. If a lockdown had ensued a decade or more ago, and versus if a lockdown had ensued a decade or more later, you wonder what situation it would have been, how people would have dealt. Maybe it would have been catastrophic. It was if it was a few decades ago or a decade ago, and if it was a decade later, maybe we would have a lot more technology to deal with it, but more than to deal with it, to distract ourselves. But because of this time, because of the time it has come out at, we're not even that technologically advanced to distract ourselves. We don't even have that much to engage in. And so I think there is this maxim called less is more. With less things to do, there is more time and energy you have to do some of the things that you already have been doing. Maybe you get more time to think about the things that you do and do them in a better way, or add a few things. Like one was nature watching, sitting with the nature. Another could be some hobby, some learning that we could do that we should have been doing even more. And because in this time where fear spreads faster than any disease, people like घर में बैठ के, not having much to do, seeing so much change itself is a bit of a difficult thing for people. Any kind of change, this kind of a global situation which is asking us to change even our basic way of living, like not so much for me because I've always generally been sedentary, but for most people, like your friend who said he's become more mindful. This era, this time is giving them a chance to look at their life, and they're seeing that, like so coming to the part about how they're distracting themselves with entertainment and Netflix, because इतना mental load बढ़ने वाला है और बढ़ रहा है शायद इस type की situation के वजह से, people are going to be quite choosy. I think they should become aware and choiceful, mindfully choiceful about the kind of entertainment they indulge in, the kind of conversations they have, the kind of things they do. If exercise can help you feel better, people will do that क्योंकि tension बढ़ रहा है. If there are some sources of entertainment, both the news and documentaries and films, fiction and non-fiction, I don't think they're gonna see these mindless. This is what I think, or maybe I'm wishing they should come out of these mindless kind of content that they watch. जिसमें इतना, like if you see a channel like BBC, how simply and objectively they will put an information in front of you. Versus if you see the Republic channel, there is a music which is meant to instigate you. The whole red color and that da 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 karke, and the way he shouts, everything is meant to instigate. So he just thunders out, and that is basically, that place is his therapy session. He just catharts all the time on it, and
that is his.
I think people are.
That is his own counseling therapy room for himself, for no one else. It's just his own therapy. That is all.
For no one.
So anyways, yeah, you were
they
saying.
They come out with more problems than they went.
Adding up to more problems for others, while simultaneously decreasing his own problems. So yeah, I was so I was going to ask you this. You said people should engage a lot more into the meaningful content now. So the current generation has become very liberal because of the kind of information nowadays it is available. तो लोग अभी काफी सारा चीजों में engage करते हैं. Do you think people nowadays are engaging more into the meaningful content?
I don't know that, but I do wish they do, and I do wish that इनके क्या बोलते हैं अवेयरनेस में बात लाया जाए. Influencers should do that, but then influencers themselves, what kind of content they make, it depends on what influencer you're following. But really, there should be, like, Netflix released these few documentaries and they are really beautiful ones. Have you ever, did you have a time in your life, in your childhood maybe, when you used to watch these old BBC, National Geographic and Discovery nature documentaries?
National Geographic, Animal Planet, nature documentaries I used to watch.
Do they have like a relaxing effect?
The sea documentaries related to the water creatures, because of the environment that they
Yeah.
used to create, that was very relaxing. Yeah.
And the narrator,
Oh,
like,
narrator
it
to
was just a very calm narration, right? These kind of things, I think people, if we just explain to them, if it is explained to them that the kind of content you watch is triggering you, you go to a horror movie to watch horrific content so that you feel that thrill of some kind. You go to watch some adrenaline spiking film, you go to watch comedy, all these films, you're watching just a play of light and shadow and sound, right? But it is creating some emotions in you, it is stirring something in you. Then be very mindful. Just like your body has food you eat, and people are becoming more aware about this now because immunity come ho gaya. So health, more than ever, is becoming a value, or it should be. People should understand your well-being is your asset, health is your wealth, and not just physical but mental also, because they both affect each other simultaneously. We've been taught in psychology that anything which is biological is simultaneously psychological. Have you heard of that maxim?
Yes. I haven't heard,
So
but I
just like
do
your
agree
body,
with that. I haven't heard. This is the first time, but that is very, very true.
right? So anything which is affecting your body will affect you mentally, and anything which affects you mentally will affect your body. And in the mix of all that, your immunity stands. Let your immunity be strong in these times, because it's not just a disease, but your changing life circumstances and the politics that is going to go on. Abhi, as things get calmed and people get back to their gear, particularly the nuisance kind of people, इस पे चालू होने वाला है ना, that चाइना का काम था ये, फिर टेंशन्स बढ़ेगा ग्लोबल लेवल पे.
You were saying na, you become or you feel those emotions and thrills of the kind of movie that you watch because of the sound and the images that has been given to you. So abhi ka jo scenario hai, it is the like it's outside in this world, outside our house, outside our building, ek fear hai. And because of that fear theme going on everywhere, every one of us is also in fear. And उस fear की वजह से और क्या क्या outcome आ रहा है, the results or the effects that it is having on our behavior and our everyday life. We have to understand that and not let ourselves succumb to that fear. That is the thing that you are saying. Am I right?
Somewhere close to that, like we could use this fear to understand that, like, we are basically afraid of death. We're basically afraid of something happening to our life. So then why not look at what could be affected? For those of us who are fortunate enough to look, I mean, I understand there is a India mein to 80% people are not even in the middle class, they are below that in the economic strata, I mean. So अभी इन लोगों को हम ये नहीं बता सकते, we cannot expect them to even understand or to be able to take care of themselves. But for those of us who are privileged to even have a house, to even have a roof over a house, to have internet connection, to have supply, to have access to some food and everything, we should be looking. क्योंकि यही लोग हैं जो बवाल करते हैं भाई. बवाल वो गरीब लोग नहीं करते. They accommodate somehow to everything. The बवाल यही लोग करते हैं जिनके पास टाइम है और sticky thumbs तो कुछ करेंगे. You know, fidgety thumbs. And ये लोग टेक्स्ट भेजते हैं, व्हाट्सएप पे मैसेज लिखते हैं, and ये वो चीजें सर्च करते हैं. And you know this thing about like there's a point I remembered just now. If for people who read news on Facebook, Facebook का अभी engagement काफी कम हो गया है, but back in the time when 2016 के पहले अमेरिका में elections चल रहे थे, तभी people were getting their feed from Facebook. So there is this something called tunnel. data tunneling. I don't remember what it was, but the kind of data that you engage with, Facebook gives you more of that kind of information, because of which it becomes a very narrow thing for you.
Correct.
You get
It's
only
those
one source of information,
the keyword that
right?
you search for, the keyword which has been
Huh.
repeated a lot of times in your search bar or in the feeds that you look, wo bar bar it is
And
being
what you
seen.
clicked also.
Yes.
So you're getting steeper more into that.
Hmm.
And this is what happens when people, if they're not getting a holistic view of the situation, they will do that, and then they get edged again. So they have to know what is this fear. Whenever there is a situation which is provoking people's fears,
Hmm.
they should really look into what is the fear about and what are you afraid of losing or gaining. Again, it is always afraid of losing, because you will gain something which will make you lose something more valuable,
Hmm.
which is life.
Yeah.
So become aware of your health. Okay. So I was saying, the way our body has needs, it needs good food, good exercise, and
Mhm.
quality sleep,
Mhm.
right? And that is what nourishes the body.
Mhm.
You can't just keep taking some junk food every day, because it does have a long-term effect. And the same way, your mind, it also consumes content that you read, listen, watch, and even speak. Even the things you speak and think,
Mhm.
even the conversations you get in, whether with somebody or in a monologue in your mind,
Mhm.
um, they also affect your mind. So be very aware of the content you're considering to consume.
Mhm.
And abhi content itna overload hai, abundant hai, so there is a lot of good things also. Let's engage
Mhm.
in that and minimize anything which is unnecessary. So coming back to that point when I said less is more,
Mhm.
I think we're going to embrace minimalism very soon, because minimalism is this idea that we can do away with a lot. We can thrive with a lot less than what we've been told. Like, life does not need so many things
Yes.
to be able to be meaningful.
I have.
And the same way,
I
because
I
you
am
think you're
ju- just to interrupt you in like for a while.
Join in next time for the second part of this episode. Thank you for listening.